Now, from the downtown of Northwest Arkansas, in Uptown Rogers, with weather from Bentonville to Fayetteville, Fort Smith, and beyond, here's Oz weather meteorologist, Garrett Lewis.
Coming up on July 12th today, almost the middle of the month. Can you believe that? And man, we're in for a hot weekend, which is typical of July, but we may have below normal temperatures that affect us coming up middle of next week. Maybe some 80s. Huh? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Well, there's a few showers out there this morning. Those showers coming in from Kansas and Oklahoma. They managed to make it all the way to the east. They'll fade with time, but some of you were lucky enough to get a splash this morning. There's a live look towards Uptown. We've got a toasty weekend ahead of us, some dark skies, but also some sunshine. You can see the sunlight reflecting off the trees, but the dark clouds out in the distance as we've got a few spotty showers out there. You can see just past Top Golf and whatever new tower they're building there over at Hunt Towers with the crane. Out in the distance, you can see that low cloud cover and temperatures that are going to be increasing later today once those low clouds move on out. So what about the rainfall? Where is it raining? Who's getting the showers this morning? Well, not everyone, and that's going to be the case here for the next several days, even into the weekend. But we did have a few showers that managed to move in this morning. Maybe you heard a little bit of thunder. It's a lot heavier up there around Neosho or so in towards Springfield, but some spotty areas of rain are still ongoing there. Anywhere from just southwest to Fayetteville near Prairie Grove and a little west of West Fork, a little bit of a splash in Winslow. It's not a lot. It's not going to make a huge difference, but every little bit of rain helps this time of year. Even a couple of showers out there to the northwest of Van Buren and maybe a little bit of sprinkles in Fort Smith this morning. And again, this is going to fade with time. Just a little weak impulse in the atmosphere that's moving through. That overnight wave is going to track east. I'll show you what this looks like on a bigger view here. You can see that little disturbance swinging on in from west to east and moving on out. That trough also shows up on some of the data. I'll show you that too coming up in a second. Let's talk temperatures, where we are now and where we're going. Right now, we're in the 70s, so it's not a bad start to the day at all for a Friday. Of course, any start to a Friday is a good day, right? It's 72 in Rogers and 74 in Bentonville, 72 out at XNA. Springdale, we're 75. 71, a little lower out there in Fayetteville with some spotty rain out around the Fort Smith area and mid 70s. So the surface chart looks like this. That front's to the north. That's why we had these small complex that developed overnight and those showers that moved through. That front's not going to do a whole lot other than lift to the north a little more over the next day or so, but I do feel like high temperatures today will still be in the 90s, and we will be looking at mostly rain-free weather for the next several days with the occasional passing shower. Now, that's going to be triggered by either daytime heating or anything that floats in during the overnight, but the trend here for the next 7 is going to be climbing into the low and the mid-90s. We get our hottest early next week around Tuesday, and then temperatures start backing down. That below normal weather starts to settle in somewhere around Thursday of next week. That'll also be accompanied with some rain showers, which will be nice. We'll have a little bit of rain with this as it moves on through, and hopefully keep things nice and green for us and not dry out too much compared to what we've been seeing. So how does this look? What does this pattern look like? I'm going to show you 2 models here. The first one is the model for today or for the weekend. It's the high resolution North American model. And then I'm going to switch over to the global forecast solution and show you what the big pattern looks like overall. So as far as the rain goes, you can see this morning there's a couple of spotty showers that the data picked up on. But moving into the afternoon, not much, maybe a spotty area of rain. Now I'm cruising through Saturday, not much there. Heading into Sunday, not much there either. So you can see here over the next weekend as I loop it back and forth, there's really not a whole lot of triggers here for showers other than maybe something that pops up with daytime heating. That's always possible for this time of year. So big picture here, I'm going to reframe this up for you. Here's the United States, right? So this is looking at 500 millibars right in the middle of the atmosphere. The bottom is 1,000, the top's 250, 300 millibars. The atmosphere has weight, so it's heavier at the bottom. I'm looking 500, which is right at the middle of the atmosphere. And what you can notice this morning is this little trough. See it right there? And right in the middle, it's somewhere around Missouri, that little line that moves through. So that little troughiness there is what's causing some of the showers this morning along that boundary. It starts lifting pretty quick, though. You can see it lifting to the north and to the northeast. So heading into the weekend, what's happening here is that high pressure ridge is continuing to expand. It moves a little more to the west with time, and there's even an area of low pressure to our south. The high is actually centered out there around the Four Corners. That's where it's really roasting. This is Saturday evening here. And then as we head into Sunday, it's more of the same for us on Sunday, not much overall changes. Keep your eye here to the northwest, though. Look at those wind barbs that are up there around Montana. Watch what happens here. I'm going to forward this a little bit more. Look at that little loop. Do you see it swinging? from Canada back into the Great Lakes, right there. So the main dynamics for this are up here around the Great Lakes, but you can make out a little kink in the upper level winds across Kansas too. That's going to drag a boundary into the area. This is looking at Wednesday morning. So I think next Wednesday and next Thursday with this long wave trough that's over us, I think we're going to be dealing with a few scattered showers, and it'll allow for some cooler temperatures too as we head into the latter half of the week into next week. And I think with the trough still there, you're probably going to end up with more scattered shower activity in the afternoon by the end of next week and next weekend. And then beyond that, well, the ridge builds back in, and we're in full blown summertime to wrap up July and head into August, which is not a surprise and not a shock to anybody that's lived here in Arkansas for a while, right? So mid and upper 90s this weekend, low end chance of seeing any showers. Most of us will stay dry. Heat index around 100 to about 110, probably closer to 101, 107 for most of us, but a few places will get that hot. And then as we head into next week, we'll look forward to some 80s, mid and low 80s for us, which will feel very comfortable after a nice little heat wave moves through this weekend and early next week. So to sum it up, a few spotty showers this morning. Sunny and hot though for the afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Limited chance of a pop-up storm, and keep your eye on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. That's when temperatures will fall back a little bit with a weak front passing into the area. Until then, have a great weekend.